I'm David Tang, Managing Director of Standard Kepler. It's my honor to be here. And before I start anything, I would like to ask a question. Is there anyone having any cryptocurrency? Could you raise your hand if you happen to have cryptocurrency? Oh, that's not a lot, but maybe we should pay you guys 3-minute silent tributes because the price is dropping like hell right now. No, just kidding. All of us holding cryptocurrency actually are a believer in it, and we believe that it will bounce back. So what about, like, is there anyone have ever invested into any ICO projects? Could you raise your hand as well? Oh, again, very little. That's actually a good thing, because as far as I know, a lot of people, they don't understand this thing, even though they invested into this. So you don't invest into something that you don't understand, which is a good thing. Okay, let me briefly introduce my company first. Our company, Standard Kepler, do 3 things. Firstly, ICO advisory. So far, we have helped 19 projects to raise around $500 million over the last year. And we also got a research department, which we are also the research partner of Thomson Reuters. You can find all of our reports on their terminal. And again, we got brokerage service for our clients. We help them sell coins, buy coins. Last year, we transact around $24 million worth cryptocurrency through our brokerage service. Most of them are OTC. So what about the market? ICO. Last year, it's worth $5 billion, and it is expected to be $20 billion this year. The market capitalization is not correct anymore because I prepared this stack actually a week ago, and it was $300 billion. Now, anyone know the price? It should be around 200. So you can see that the price really dropped a lot. But why, after the price dropped so much, we still, like a lot of people still want to jump into the ICO industry? It's because of the potential upside. You can see this graph. I'm not sure whether I have a, nope. So you can see this graph. We are talking about like thousands times of returns of investment. So a lot of people still jump into this industry because it looks so lucrative. But I'm not saying that you guys also should jump into it, because we need to ask 3 questions, like how to evaluate those tokens. Secondly, who is actually selling those tokens? And more importantly, who is actually buying those tokens? Because if there's no demand, the price won't sustain. So these are the very important questions. And before I try to explain this, I would like to talk a bit about blockchain technology. To me, I myself is a programmer, so I do blockchain development myself. And blockchain is nothing more than a ledger technology. It's just a ledger for you to store all the record, which happen to be an immutable record. So most of the record are transactions. This is actually a very good technology to avoid double spending, facilitate value transfer. So when you want to transfer value through blockchain technology, that's something that we can help a lot. And ICO is the process that utilizes this technology. So we issue tokens on blockchain to make this record immutable, to make it easy to transact, to improve the liquidity. But to be honest, it doesn't have much difference between printing money out of air from ICO. Because what really matters is that what's the value behind the token. Because creating a token is very easy, and it's actually a very cheap process as well. But one thing that is like a bit different from Monopoly game is actually we can't lie about the number of tokens we print, we can't lie about the number of tokens we held, and we can't lie about the transaction. So a lot of people will think of this way, like either they issue the ICO or they at least invest into ICO. For those who reject to the whole industry, then I think you shouldn't be here as well. So I'm not going to talk about it. So as an issuer, there's a few things I want you to know before you're considering having your own ICO. Firstly, it may not be as cheap as you thought, because ICO nowadays is quite costly. This one, the largest one, is the market size of all the stock market added up together. And the middle one is actually the net worth of the top 50 richest people in the world. And that, the smallest one, is the cryptocurrency. Small means potential. So eventually, if it takes up to 50% of the stock market, it will become really huge. And second thing is that the pattern. You can see that this graph is actually the change of market cap of cryptocurrency. And that one is actually the NASDAQ over the dot-com bubble. So you can see the pattern, it looks extremely alike. But what I want you to pay attention to is the time it takes to get there. It actually took internet 25 years to create this pattern, but it just took cryptocurrency 1 year, which means it's a really fast-changing industry. And if we believe into the technology itself, we believe that eventually will go like this as internet technology. Again, we see a lot of potential of it, but I'm not saying that everything should be on blockchain, because if you're not putting the right things on blockchain, it's actually a very inefficient technology. This is not from me, this is from the core developer of Bitcoin. So take a case of Spotify. This is something that I think is really can apply blockchain technology well. So normally, for musicians to receive money from the end users, it takes this long time, like 19 months. Like every time the users listen to a song, eventually it will generate income to the musicians, but it takes so many time. And there's a lot of accounting and auditing costs there. But with blockchain technology, this is something that we can help, because the transaction cost is much lower. Because of this technology, the verification cost is much lower. That's why we can facilitate the whole payment process. And if we categorize the whole Spotify into these 3 categories, we can see that there's a user part, there's a songs part, which is a database, and also the payment part. And the users part is something that we think has to be centralized, because we need to create a great user experience. It takes expertise, it wants professionals to do that. So as the song database, we need to make it very well organized. So it's not something that we can directly put it on blockchain, but for the payment part, that's something that we can help. And because this is costing the industry a lot of money, that's why blockchain can change the entire industry by a lot. What about insurance company? So again, we categorize the whole industry into these 4 categories. The products, which we need professionals to create policies. The payment, that when the users pay the premium, or when the insurance company are paying their clients. The judging part, which means we need someone to see whether it's a valid claim, and also the investment. You take the premium and invest. And among this, only the payment part nowadays is something that we can put on blockchain. But I don't think that is actually costing a lot in the whole industry. That's why the insurance industry may not be something that can directly disrupted by blockchain technology. So again, everything is as decentralized as its input. When we have something that's already in digital form, or that's it automatically generated, the data, or something that's already in blockchain, that's something really easy to make it decentralized. But for something that require authorities, expertise, professionals, or private data, that's not something that we should consider blockchain. So again, the bubble. Why we have so many bubbles now is because a lot of blockchain companies claim themselves a blockchain company, but at the end of the day, they're just one of the companies that could empowered by blockchain technology, and that makes the difference. That's it for my presentation, and thank you.